Niranjan, to you first. Major takeaways from what the RBI governor just said?
I think good, bad, and good and very good in the sense that the thing which industry was asking from the RBI has finally come across in terms of restructuring of loans without any asset reclassification has been announced. It is subject to, of course, the fine print, which has to come out in terms of the terms and conditions under which it can be done. But I think there's a very positive news because a large number of people in industry were worried with the COVID story continuing to where it is. There would be a lot of more defaults in the next couple of weeks as the time for payments were restarting. So I think that's the biggest news in terms of the governor's RBI statement today in terms of it. Number two, saying that all this is a calibrated response in terms of providing additional liquidity as and when it is necessary. I think that was clarified. And also the fact that real estate, which required continuous additional funding through the NBFC and NABARD on the agriculture sector. So though having provided earlier for funds, as and when the requirements of each segment, it's also talked about the MSMEs and the extent to which that was taken care of. So I think extremely comprehensive, cautious view on the future, talked about decrease in the GDP numbers that would take place. So every industry is cautioned that things are not going to be as good as they would have liked it to be, but very, very, very clear in terms of being able to calibrate the kind of reaction to be done. I think also one other mention which he did was very important, which is that now the passing on of the reduction in the rates which had taken place in the past is actually happening in the banking system. Because earlier, as and when the RBI reduced the repo rates and other rates, we still didn't get the benefit in industry.
Right.
But today he clarified that in the last couple of weeks, the flow down to it, and he mentioned specifically the areas where the benefits have reached, because we had objected tremendously that though you may be announcing a lot of benefits, they were not percolating. Right. So I think multiple positive statements, except of course of the fact that COVID could come and spring back again in terms of a return is what is expected, is part of the surprise, because that doesn't usually come from the Reserve Bank. It usually comes from the government and the ministry. So it was a surprise that it was the Reserve Bank which has told us that please be ready for a second spike. Industry, be cautioned and warned so that you don't tell us afterwards that we didn't tell you.
Yeah, exactly the thought in my mind as well. The fact that he ended his statement saying that there could be another surge as well. Interesting thoughts there. Brinda Jagirdar, coming on the fact...
I thought it was good to understand that he is taking a very long-term cautious view. Right. And at the same time, he's aggressive on the liquidity. And I thought that was very pointed and correct.
Yeah. I just want Brinda Jagirdar. I also want to talk a little bit about the expert committee that is going to be headed by KV Kamath. Lots of plans there. He talks about, the resolution plans that are coming out. What exactly are the expectations here? And if Mr. Niranjan could take that question.
I think last time during 2008, during the Lehman crisis, RBI had come up with terms and conditions which were issued at that point of time for the purposes of laying the roadmap in terms of restructuring. So those kind of conditions were put up by the RBI directly. I'm not aware whether a committee was appointed for the purposes of laying the roadmap at that point of time. I do not think, I think Mr. KV Kamath is quite well known to understand all the nuances of these things. And since there have been instances where this action has taken place in the past, I don't think there'll be too much of a difference in terms of doing it. The question would be more about how much time should be given. So many times what has happened in the past is maybe undue time could have been given. And since at this point of time, the COVID story is still not completed, it will be extremely difficult to say whether the extension of time should be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. and it would be depending on different type of cases. For example, if it's a project which is a large infrastructure project, obviously the time taken and the place would be suitably extended. But in certain cases where the demand has been disrupted, like was just mentioned by Mr. Shenoy, the question would also come up as to in how much time will the disruption come back, like aviation or like restaurants or hotels. So I think that differential of the time which the extension needs to be done would differentiate from different industry. So somebody has to say as to whether the methodology would be across the board similar, or would each of the banks be permitted to do differential for different industries. So real estate, automobiles, hotels, etc., would be different in terms of doing it. So probably the KV Kamath committee would look into, chairmanship would look into this thought process as to how this whole thing is to be done. But I'm not so worried about that. The very fact that restructuring is permitted and we have a person at the leadership of Mr. KV Kamath, I'm sure the resolution will come overnight. It shouldn't take very long to really get some results on it.
All right. So overall, all thumbs up coming in for the RBI governor for the moment at least. Markets also in the green. But like the governor said, COVID-19 war is not over. The world is getting up for a second surge. So little reading between the lines over there as well. Thank you all for joining us with your expert comments on that. We're going to slip into a break. News